My name is Silvia. I'm a Mozambican young person, very passionate about social change. I come from a very small village in Mozambique. I think is the third, if I say in terms of economical growth, is the third biggest city. So it's not really the capital, but I moved to the capital to do my studies in economics. That was in 2007. And after that, I've joined a couple of social organizations, including ISAC, which is an international students platform that enables young people to challenge themselves to run projects African-wide, global-wide, promotes international internships. This is very also strong in other continents. And throughout that, then I moved to a more corporate side. I finished my economics degree in Maputo, and then after that, I just emerged from one experience to another, working with the United Nations on the social, on this, I think it's the global name is using social work to enable or to create livelihoods in outside communities, in rural areas. So that was one of the projects that I was also very passionate about. I also worked for the Federal Bank for my final thesis. And after that, I joined an international, multinational mining company for 9 years, in which I've been working in the supply chain. And the biggest project, I would not say only Mozambique, but in the sub-Saharan Africa. So basically, this project is related to not only the exploration of minerals, but also the logistical part. One of the reasons was first the idea of having an MBA that will actually aggregate value and not just one more academic degree, because you know that after you finish your first degree, you gain a lot of experience with work, and you don't want just one more paper that you're going to add in your drawer. You want something that will really help you and take you to the next level professionally. And I went to study a little bit of Vlerick work, how the alumni network is connected, what are the people that can inspire us, and went through Vlerick experience. And I found out quite interesting people. I found out that this is a very international business school, because one of the fears is if I'm going to study in a different continent, not really my first language, and maybe the GMAT and the global test that you have to do, and these all things stress you a lot. But I found out that during the process that they really focus on people, and I was also checking other opportunities as well. So this was the one that was standing out the most, because they want to hear your story, what is your experience, how you're going to add up to the team or the class that they are putting together for that year, and how you expect this experience to fit in your career purposes. And they try to match as much as possible during the classes and the experience they give you in order to meet your expectation. This was something that I was not really expecting, and I think Vlerick is doing quite well. Also very strategically located. Belgium is in the center of Europe. This is it's very convenient to travel and explore. We went to visit a couple of really good companies, Google, Amazon, and quite really, I would say, references in supply chain. So all these combined factors made me really be happy and glad. When we want to grow, there is always this process that first you don't know what to expect. You just have some idea in your mind of how Europe, how the experience is going to be. You have to worry about all the logistics, like finding a house, finding your friends and your place in another place far from home. And I really enjoyed it, making new friends. But while you are there, you face the real life, which is not just going to Europe for holidays. It's actually learning how to fulfill your deadlines, to be committed to your colleagues when you have these group works and all these things. And it really does challenge ourselves, not even professional, but mostly personally, and be disciplined. And this is what I came here to achieve. This is my focus. I need to do well. I need to take most out of my experience. And when you go back, of course, you need to be prepared for both sides. I think as any learning experience, that you come up with all these brilliant and beautiful ideas, but global solutions they need to consider local problems, and not necessarily everything that is working perfectly well in Europe will be exactly applied the same way to solve problems in Africa or in Mozambique. And in my case, I was very curious about supply chain and how really you optimize the operations in order to make your business or whatever industry you are to make it more profitable. And you notice that in terms of logistics, Europe, it has very good infrastructure. It's so well connected. You don't have the border restrictions. So now you come with these ideas, but in Mozambique, you have like borders. Every country is one country. If you want to import, you have to consider taxes from one side to the other side. How do you compare this and make a good decision? You have to consider many factors, and this is just one of the examples. Actually, I do a little bit of everything. It's like a CEO that runs a startup. You know, your garage is also your office, your living room is your office. It's quite fun and interesting. And mainly when you run construction, because construction, you might have tools all over the place, and suddenly a customer remembers that we forgot a tap for the bathroom, and now he wants to change the old tiles that are there. So sometimes you don't know how your day is going to end. You start with planning, okay, you know, we have sales meeting, but then something on site will pop up, and then we have to solve it. It's really interesting, and now I'm trying to put as much as possible of what we have learned from the operation management and project management classes, in order to understand very well where the time stealers and efficient stealers are. Because you know, when you have a construction company, not everyone is going to be almost in same academic background or level. You're going to have the people that operate the things and they deliver the quality. So this is a very important aspect for the customers. Although you might sell very well the project and the idea, the person that will execute it needs to understand very well how important it is to really care on the details and the finishing, and that you leave everything as the customer expected. So now, to build this capacity to train people to automate process and also bring some intelligence on the supply chain, because that what will make a big difference. In our market, we do have a couple of companies doing similar things than what we are doing, but we are trying to find our concrete niche and the customers that will really be will be seeing the value on what we deliver. It's a very interesting question, and it keeps just coming many times from people. I'll say that they say that people that can swim, they wouldn't die, they wouldn't sink, because they'll be careful when they go in water. So that means you have to bring more preparation. If you know this is a challenge for you, you need to be a little bit prepared. You come with your floating gadgets and everything, because you know there are other people that will swim better or faster than you. So you'll be more conscious about it. You're going to prepare, read more, speak to people, prepare for your meetings, and also hear more from people, because we cannot do it by ourselves. There is a team that works with me. Yes, I can be the face of the company, but there are people that are more experienced. And how the company started is because we wanted to build a house for family, for my mom in specific, and we put a group of people together, people that could paint, people that could lay bricks, and this, so on and so forth. And we decided to deliver this project, not as a company, but as a group of individuals, and we did good. And we thought, why not doing this for other people? So these people already have experience, because they've done it before and they've done quite well. And most of the times they have a good technical, and if it's not really technical, from the experience point of view, opinion on topics that I might find it challenging to discuss. So most of the times I try to hear my team a lot, to be humble, to sometimes let my argument fall down when I say, no, we should spend less, and they'll tell me, no, for this and why reason we should spend more on that, because it's very important, not only how the customer will see it, but also in terms of security, because construction will involve most of the time security, in terms of long-term service delivery, and so on and so forth. It definitely did, because now you get to learn and to speak with other people that went through the same process. And I still remember very well that class that we had about entrepreneurship, and where they draw this scary valley in the beginning, that when you start your company, there is a dead valley that you need to survive. You need to go through it. There is such nice things after the valley that you need to hold on the valley, because You don't go or you don't open a business waiting that you're gonna be rich or you're gonna start making money in the first 3 or 4 months. It's time that you're gonna do the seed process. You need to work your land, you need to work around it before you even see a plant coming out of your ground. You need to pour water on it and continue believing at some point you're gonna harvest. So you need to have like a strong belief on what you are doing, the change that you want to make. So by remembering that and knowing that you're on the right way, although you don't see the results, but you are at least on the right way, it will give you strength to continue, because sometimes you learn from your mistakes, from the things you underestimate, challenge that you say, okay, we can do that in a week to your customer, and then you figure out that, oh, the thing you thought would be available or the product is no longer available, or at least not for the same price. So now you're going to reorganize everything and be able to deliver what you promised to the customer. And if your team has a problem, how are you going to solve it in reality? One thing is to speak with the general strategies and sell the milestone. Another thing is operations on the ground on a daily basis. So I think by understanding that through classes that people fail and they recover and it's possible, you need to keep believing. You need to ask for help. You need to at least understand and not lose sight of your end goal. So those things will definitely help me and encourage me every day, because yeah, it's a challenge. First of all, as we said, yes, I'm a female, and the people will be like already with this bias, like, will this building be reliable? It's very important, not only in MBA education, but also even professionally. In our company, we strive to have also women and men. People will say, oh, but sometimes when you say the leaders of this company are women, it's by coincidence. Doesn't mean that we intentionally, it has to be a woman, not necessarily. We don't want to be perceived like that. But we also give chances to women to apply for jobs. So although we are a construction company, the managers at this moment, they are women. We do have also men in the team, but the highest managers are women. And I believe that when we have women and also men in the team, it's going to enrich the perspective for any problem, how we see and how we approach problems. Because to me, I might think I want to solve it now. I see this problem on site. There is this thing that has to be fixed, and to me, it has to be done now. And my team, sometimes, most of the time, it's men that are on ground, and they'll say, it's more strategic if we leave this problem to approach them maybe tomorrow, and then we finish what we are doing now, and then we're gonna have more synergy, or we're gonna be more productive by doing that tomorrow or the day after, because they're gonna see the whole thing together. But to me, it's like, I have this wound, I have to fix it now. I want to see it done now. And then someone will give you the more rational side of doing things, not necessarily because we forgot the problem is there. The good thing is we are aware that it's there, and we have a plan to solve it when it's the right time. So I think having the feminine touch, it's very, very important, because we're gonna care. Originally, the brain of woman, I think we really care for details. I'm not saying that men will overlook them, but it's more likely that if we put small details in a room, that the woman will spot them before the man does. And in construction, that is very important, because sometimes it can be a sign that something went wrong during the process and you need to correct it as soon as possible. But if no one does it, and then you finish the wall, you put all the cables underneath the wall and everything is done, and then you notice that the tap is not giving water. So why? Now we have to break the wall to know why it's not there. So definitely having a woman, it's a really good added value.